That first PIT did not even faze him. Meet Korarise Hill, a violent offender who treats the prison system like a revolving door. Having survived a first-degree murder charge in the past, Hill knows exactly what is waiting for him behind bars, and he is willing to turn this highway into a graveyard just to stay out.
1033 for Charlie 221, all others with Charlie. All right, beach search.
26. Southbound 95. Tell me up to the police station.
Copy.
Disregard that, FHP is 97 with me.
We're out far back to HB.
We passed the 265. FHP pit.
Get out the car, hands up!
Hands up,
Get out the car, hands up! Hands up! Put your hands on your head! Start walking back towards us!
Walk to your left. Yeah, keep walking back. Walk back. Walk back. Walk back. Walk back. Walk back. We got hands. Down your knees. You're good to hop in. Let me go grab your shoes for you.
Korarise Hill is now facing a mountain of legal trouble that would bury an ordinary person. The charges are heavy: domestic battery, false imprisonment, leaving the scene of a crash, and felony fleeing with a total disregard for human life. But for Hill, this is just a familiar routine. Looking at his jacket, this man has been a walking red flag since 2015, with 10 arrests across 2 counties for everything from aggravated assault to grand theft. He just finished a 2-year stint in state prison for attempted first-degree murder and armed robbery. He was actually on inmate release status when he decided to kidnap and terrorize this woman at gunpoint. From a psychological standpoint, Hill was not just running from the cops. He was running from the reality that his life as a free man was over the second that woman locked herself in that bathroom. He viewed every innocent driver on Interstate 95 as collateral damage in his desperate bid to stay out of a cage. Tactically, the officers had no choice. When you are dealing with a violent offender who has already proven he is willing to kill, a high-speed PIT maneuver is a necessary evil to prevent a much larger tragedy. It makes you wonder about the revolving door of our justice system. How does a man with a history of attempted murder find himself back on the streets with a handgun Ready to destroy another life? Was this a failure of supervision? Or are some people simply beyond rehabilitation? I want to hear your take on this. Should a career criminal with this kind of violent track record ever get a second chance? Or is it time to throw away the key for good? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one of them. If you found value in this breakdown, hit that subscribe button and join the Blue Line Raw community. It helps us keep bringing these stories to light. Thank you for watching, stay vigilant out there, and have a great one.